All right, so let's go see these amazing Petronas towers. You're probably thinking, what? How are we going to get that all done in an hour? Well, it is possible. And if you're wondering where those cobwebs went, well, there they are. They're acting as the stabilizer arms to the walkway here. So exciting times. So let's get started. I'm actually going to show you how to use a block today if you have Bedrock Edition. Sorry, Java Lavas. It's pretty complicated, so I don't have enough time to teach you how to do it. So we're going to work with the Bedrockers, and here it is. Woohoo! This is called a structure block. So I'm excited to be showing you the structure block today. And what? Look at all, all the towers. It's crazy. So these towers aren't actually that hard to make. There's a lot of repetition. You're probably thinking, oh no, repetition, but it'll be good for you. Let me see if I got enough room here. All right, so we are going to start by putting our stone brick. So we'll put 3 blocks, and basically it's a 3-3 pattern. So we'll go 3 blocks on the diagonal, then 3 blocks going across on the X direction, and then 3 across. Let me just show you what's happening here. You're like, what? She's going so fast. Let me just show you the big picture, and then that way you don't get too anxious. Okay, so there you go. You got 3 blocks on the sides that are protruded out the furthest, and then on the angles you have 3 single blocks. Now, I know the Petronas Tower has a lot of windows, and it takes a month to clean them all on just one tower, over 13,000 windows. So if you wanted to, you could use windows. I didn't ask you to get that as part of your block choice, but let me show you what it will look like if you choose to use them. And then you can make up your mind what you want to do. Okay, so basically this build is going to have sandwiches, what I call sandwiches. Maybe I'm hungry. And then you'll put the stone back on top, just like that. So essentially, this is going to be one sandwich. Woo! It's a yummy glass sandwich. So if you're really hungry, there you go. You can eat your glass and stone sandwich. So here we go. Whoa! How did that spontaneously spawn? Weird. Okay. Yeah. So we have the glass here, and then we have our stone. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Not too tricky, but it's just something else to do. So you're going to take I have smooth quartz, but you could do the concrete. I know I asked you to get concrete, but you can get anything you want. So you're just going to basically make a little shelf here on the inside of your circle. So basically you're making a small circumference, and then you'll go around. And that's it. You'll just keep going like that. But then we got to go up. Okay, so this is going to have a sandwich with, a little bit of a connector here. Okay, so you're going to go up 2 blocks. So basically you're going up 3 blocks in total. Yeah, so lots of repetition might make you a little dizzy doing this build, but I'm excited about it. And yeah, I'm super excited to show you how to use the structure block. So the Petronas Towers, the main stakeholders in the Petronas Towers was Petronas Oil and Gas. So it's a huge company, very wealthy. Okay, so you notice how I'm doing this? I'm putting them on the top layer. So the only thing that you'll really see is the middle part. And you notice how is 1 block inside. So it kind of gives this little junction joint here. Okay. So you just continue to go around. So now I'm working on the foundation to my second sandwich. You're probably thinking, how many sandwiches do I have to make? Well, we have a busy household. We got to make a lot of sandwiches. So we're going to do, let's do 6. So this is number 2 that I'm working on right now. And you notice I'm using the glass. Now this third sandwich, I'll show you what it looks like without the glass. And you can determine for yourself if you want the glass to make it more authentic looking, or if you want to have just the stone look to it. And it kind of has a cool contrast. So, all right. So I have sandwich number one, spacer, sandwich number two. So now I have to do my spacer. So you get the idea here. We're doing a lot of repetition. I promise it will build character. You will love the results. So, like I said, oil and gas, Petronas is a oil and gas company. And as a result, they make high performance oil, which they use in the cars, like high performance cars that like the Indy 500 that uh, America is so well known for. It's very similar. So high performance racing cars that they use the oil in. And as a result of that, the drivers of these cars are very well known in Malaysia. They're like superstars there. So it's kind of interesting to see the influence. All right. So now we are going to go instead. I'll show you what it looks like with the smooth stone. So you decide, which sandwich you want. I'm just going to do this for one layer. And then that way it's up to you to decide what you want. Okay, so here it is. I'll do the full Monty here, go all the way around. And then it's something that you can make a choice for your build. Okay, so there's what it would look like if you didn't use the glass. And here's the glass. Okay, so you decide, do I want the smooth stone or do I want the glass? So let me show you what the buildings actually look like with both facades so that you can kind of get the full picture. So here's the glass. Okay, looks pretty cool. And then over here, this building actually used the stone, and this would be like the advanced model. So here's the stone one. Okay, so you decide what kind of impact you like. All right, so that walkway is in the real building is on the 44th floor. So how many floors does the whole building have altogether? If that's half of the build, if it's right in the middle, how many does it have altogether? There's our math question. Yes, 88. How did you get 88? Oh, you just added 44 and 44. Good work. I like your strategy. I like how you were thinking about taking the half and doubling it. Perfect. And I like your logic too. That was really good. Yeah. So the Petronas Towers, you can actually you have to pay to go up into the walkway, even though they have a mall there. And yes, you can go to the mall and shop there. You don't have to pay to get into the mall. It's free. However, they do tours of the building, and when they do the tours, they actually charge you money for it. But every morning at 6 o'clock, they give away free tickets, 10 of them, only 10. And then you get to have the tour for free. So, what do you think? Do you think you would wake up really early and try to get the free tickets? Do you think there's like a huge lineup of people? Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I actually didn't see um, pictures of people standing in droves trying to look in the Petronas Towers. Now, what does that tour get you? Well, it gets you to the top of the building. So at the top, they actually have lights because they want to make sure that airplanes don't hit the building. So yeah, there's that at the top. There's also telecommunication drums up there. So it's a way for people to be able to hear their radio, with the big tall buildings. And it's also a way for you to communicate via the internet or via whatever you want to say. Okay, so we have I have one sandwich, two sandwich, three sandwich, four sandwich. So I'll do two more sandwiches there. And then we should be good for our main part. And then what's going to happen? Oh, there's a mushroom down there. It's hilarious. I have all these crazy little things spawning. As you can see in my inventory, there's spawn eggs. So it was me. I admit it. It was me. I had this strange texture pack on called Hatsatori. It was so cool. So I just wanted to see like all the different variations of animals. with the new texture pack because it really is kind of like a fun, realistic texture pack. That's why you're seeing all these crazy animals. So here we go. We got another sandwich that we're going for. Pretty excited about all these sandwiches, even though I just ate lunch. Okay, so what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 5 I'm working on, and then I just have to do one more. So what do you think? Do you like the glass, or do you like the stone? What did everyone choose? Oh, you like the glass because it's more authentic? Oh, that's cool. Oh, you chose amethyst? Wow, that's going to be a crazy tower. So has anybody ever been to Malaysia before and went to the Petronas Towers? Or I know I've had a student actually from Malaysia, and he lived in Kuala Lumpur, so it was kind of neat to get his perspective. So as you know, it has its own like little mini village there. You got your shopping center, you have uh, your business offices in there. And there's also apartment buildings in it, believe it or not. So it's really a multi-purpose. And I think the developers of the building were very smart to do that because you have to have like, different streams of income, especially if you're using these mega buildings to make a statement. They're not cheap to build. So you need to make sure that it's not just for one, like for instance, if it was all just offices, for COVID, that would have been disastrous for you because you would have had all those people not using your building or for the shopping center. So you would have been losing money. So to have someone live there, work there, and get all their different items, that's really smart. All right, so one more layer. This is my last sandwich. Then I'm going to show you that you're going to reduce the circumference. You're actually going to not put the spacer block in. You're just going to build a sandwich on a sandwich. Imagine that, a double-decker sandwich. So we're going to start with the stone, okay? If you need me to put the shelf in just to show you, I'll do that. So then just put your little shelf in. You're not going to build above the stone block area. You're just going to keep it nice and flat in a shelf. And then you're going to place your stone on there. And we'll just start with the sandwich again. So we'll do 3 of these sandwiches. So we're kind of trying to make it like a half so it's proportional because we had 6 down here. And now we're doing 3, which is half a 6. So it's keeping it proportional. And it also gives it some kind of, balance to it. So that's kind of fun too. All right, then we'll do one more layer on top of that. Like so. So this is one layer, and then we'll start our spacers back in there. So the Petronas stars, they really had to think for the engineering part of it. They really had to think very carefully about how to stabilize this. So whenever you have a huge tall tower, you pretty much have to visualize that a quarter of that tower is underground. They have to have some kind of anchor, just like trees have roots that anchor it into the ground. And the taller and bigger the tree is, the deeper the roots, so that you have these tap roots that really dig down into the ground and hold it into place. And then they have all the other secondary root systems that kind of branch out into this like anchoring system. So really, really taking our clues from nature. So, anyways, as you saw in the video, they had a hard time trying to get the foundation right. They actually they didn't mention it in the video, but I read it in my other research that I was doing on the building. They actually had a hard time with the concrete. So they poured the concrete because they couldn't find bedrock to anchor into. They had to come up with like a footing system where they made it from concrete and they made it more like a triangular base so that it worked like the tree roots. Okay, so what do I get? 1, 2, I need one more. Um, so what happened is they poured their first pour of concrete. Then they had to wait for it to cure. And then they found out that it was the wrong, what they call slump. So slump is like the density of it and how strong. So there's a tensile strength. That means how strong it can be when it's pulled and pushed. And anyways, this concrete was the wrong formula. It did, it didn't have the Formula One performance that the oil company was hoping for. So they actually had to get rid of it. They had to smash it all out and start again. So like the video kind of alluded to, it was a nightmare making this building. They every time they turn around, they came up against some kind of setback, and that was a big setback. Was the foundation. However, if you don't get the foundation right, the whole building is at risk of collapsing. And that's what happened in Italy, in Pisa. They had a poor foundation. It was lots of sand and mud, and they didn't build it on the proper foundation. And it ended up, the story, it's sunk on one side. In fact, it sunk so much that it actually was at risk of actually falling over. And in the early 1990s, they had to close it for 10 years to figure out how to keep it so it wouldn't fall over completely. They've since fixed it, and now they say it's going to stand for maybe another 200 years. So that's exciting news. But it's also a testament of how you have to make sure you're setting up your foundation properly. And kind of we can put that on our life too. We need to set up a good foundation for our life. So, good studying, making sure that we are not constantly sitting in front of a television. We need to get exercise. We need to do great things for our development, for our foundation. All right, so we are getting to the end of it. So we have 6 and then 3. And then this one is going to be 2, and we're doing the same thing. We're going to shrink it down, and then we'll do 2 sandwiches. You're probably thinking, I'm tired of sandwiches. eat, eat more. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we'll do 2 more, and then we'll put the top on it. And then I get to show you this exciting structure block. So the structure block is a block that you actually have to ask for. You have to give it to yourself with the chat command. Now, if you're probably thinking, do I have it? I have, a switch. So the only devices in Minecraft that cannot get it are PS3. So probably none of you are using a PS3, or the Wii U. That's the only 2 devices that cannot get the structure block. So if you're probably thinking, oh, well, I can't get it, you can get it because most of you probably have like a Switch or you're on like a iPad or something like that. So you have access to it. So fret not, you can use it. All right, so if you're on Java, I apologize thoroughly. You're going to just have to rebuild the tower. So I'm very, very sorry about that. It's just you have to take, it's really complicated. You have to take 2 blocks to do what 1 block in Bedrock can do. And then you also have to have a 3rd block for the upper corner. And it's just a big mess. It's a tough block to kind of visualize in Java. However, it's not impossible. So if you're really techie, I'm sure there's some videos there that can teach you how to use it. So, take the time, like I said, building a foundation, take the time to teach yourself how to do it with the YouTube video. I'm sure there's some really good ones out there. All right, so now I'm just filling in the top with my smooth stone. Then I'm going to put a cube at the top, like a Rubik's Cube. So it's just, but the Rubik's Cube obviously has more than 3 blocks up. I think what is it, 4 blocks? So I am just doing 3. So I'm just making this cube. So it's 3 wide, 3 high. And then I'll just take 1 more block on the top. And that's it. We'll call it a day. You can even put, if you wanted to put like an end rod on the top or, lightning rod on the top, feel free to do that. That would be fun. Yeah. I've had some pretty crazy things that students have done. Sorry, I'm just moving all my things there from what I did. All right, what do I put? Enron. Let's do it. So now it looks like I got my cool Enron. And also it's something I just wanted to show you that you can do. Okay, so you have your Enron. You can also, make it so that you have a few layers here so that, I'll just take that out so that it looks like, something fun at the top there. Okay, so let's go down. Looky, looky. Isn't it awesome? I'm super stoked about it. All right, so there's your Petronas tower, one tower, but remember there's two. So what I want you to do, we're actually going to put like blocks in the, like remove some blocks. I'm actually going to make kind of like a square. The only reason I'm doing this is so that you can kind of visualize what's happening. You notice how I'm also going beyond my structure. So there you go. I just have some random points. Okay. So when you're using your structure block, this really is, how you got to figure it out yourself. So you can put it down and you see how it's going towards my building. I'm facing the building like this, and I just was on the left side of it, and I took some of the grass out and put it. You notice how it's going towards my building? Now watch if I were to like face away from the building. So it's still going towards it. So it really doesn't matter how you turn. What matters is where you put it. So let me put it over here on the other corner and show you how it's not going towards your building. See how it's going away from your building? So just experiment with some of those corners and see what block is actually, going towards, those lines are going towards your building. So, I might try over here. I've already found a good placement. See, that one is not going towards my building. So that's not a great placement. So then maybe try this corner right here. And oh, that one is not going towards it. See, it's really bad. So really, this is the only corner that I can choose, but you might have a different corner. So mine is looking at my building. So I'm looking at my building. Mine is on the front left side. Okay. So these lines, these invisible lines, well, not invisible, but these lines, we have to get them to move. So you're going to click on your block here. And you notice how I can't really see anything right now. So you have to go to here. The structure uh, block has different X, Y, Z, and we have to change those numbers. Right now, it's only capturing 5 blocks. So let's try 15 on the X direction. Then we'll click here, detect. Oh, look what happened. Totally captured some of my build. I probably don't need 15, so let me try 10. It's a little overkill. So, oh, 10's not enough. So maybe 15 was the answer to my question here. You can also do like 11, 12. It doesn't have to be like by fives. Now let's try the Z button. Let me try 15 on the Z and press detect. Whoa, okay, look, I have captured a lot of my building here. So this is good. I have my whole foundation. This is excellent. Then I'm going to do the Y. Remember the Y is the up or down. So our building's quite high. So I'll have to do like maybe 40. Let me try 40. Oh, 40 didn't quite get the top. So I think I'm going to do like 45 maybe. Let's change that to 45 and then detect. Oh, I didn't get my end rod. So maybe let's try 50. You see how we were just doing like trial and error? Oh, there you go. 50's my number. Okay. So I'm actually going to call my structure something. It can't just be called structure name. You call it something. So I'm going to call mine whatever. Maybe I'll call it Sam. So whatever you call your structure, you have to remember exactly what you called it and how you spelled it and exactly the letters you used, okay? If I want to include entities, like watch this, if I take the entities off, that end rod at the top will not be included. So you have to keep it on so that you know you're going to include it, okay? And then everything else is looking good. I named my structure, I press enter. It's on the save mode, okay? And now I'm going to press save just below the picture, and you'll see it says here, structure saved, structure saved. Okay, so that block is done. That block is done. So I'm going to leave that block. It's all done. It's saved my structure. See, I changed this. And now we're going to go from this block, and you're going to count, let's say 25 blocks away. Let's say 25, maybe 30. I don't know. Let's try 25. I didn't really count. I just kind of guesstimated. So then you're going to put another block down. Okay, you have to put another one because this is a new block that you need to do a new thing with. All right, so this is what we have to do. Change the mode to load. Then you're going to go to the structure name and write exactly what you wrote for your last block. I called mine Sam, so I have to put Sam in, and then I press enter. And then, oh, look, do you see these have changed? But I don't see my structure inside of it. Uh-oh, it's broken. It's not broken. So we're going to press load, and then boom, there is my structure. Voila. Okay, and then you just leave the block, and then ta-da, you have another tower. Isn't that so cool? You're going to be obsessed with it, I promise. Okay, so the last thing you're going to do is make the deck. So you'll just go from one tower. You can bridge it. Doesn't matter where you bridge. I'm doing a mine actually on the top, like the first layer. If you want to get rid of those lines too, you can totally get rid of them. It won't make the building disappear. It's done its job. Okay, so there you go. I have my bridge across. You can also do like a roof to it as well. So maybe I might want to put it on the top and just, bridge it over again. So that's fun. And then the last thing is just adding some stairs in there. Now, I know you probably won't get to this point in the build because just the block itself took a while. Don't worry about it. You can always watch the video to get this part done. Okay, so you'll go across with your stairs. You notice how I went upside down with them? And the same thing on the other side. I'm going to just go upside down with the stairs all the way across, like so. And then the ones on the top, I'm actually going to go right side down. So you're creating this little tunnel here. I'll go the same thing on the other side, just right side down with the stone stairs all the way across, just like that. And then you'll take your panes, and sometimes they can be a pain to use. That's probably why they call them a pain. They're such a pain. And then you'll just go right across, and there you go. You have your little walkway between the two towers. You can use anything to give it those stabilization arms. I use the spider webs. They're kind of fun. And there you go, Petronas Towers. You have built a mega tower. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you, especially for the structure block. If you stuck with it and taught yourself how to do it with me, congratulations. That's a tough block to use. So you did a great job. And I bet you're going to be obsessed with it now because the block is just so addictive to you, especially when you're like, oh, I want to build 5 or 6 of them. All right. So anybody want to show yours? I know this was a lot of repetition, but look at the impact it gave us. Really cool, right? Great. Does anybody else want to share? Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. You did great. So I'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations.